My sister cracked my skull in my own shop. I was on a hospital bed with blood in my ear when my mother, Colleen, told me to call it an accident. She said Nessa was upset, not violent. The nurse had just cut my shirt off, and I still had paint dust from the shop on my arms. That was my family in one picture. Nessa got excuses. I got cleanup. Growing up, she wrecked things and cried. I fixed things and got blamed for why they were broken. If she wanted my bike, it became her bike. If I complained, Dad, Ray, said I was counting pennies like an old widow. When I was 16, Nessa got a used car and a birthday dinner. I got told to start paying rent because I was big enough to eat like a man. So I left at 17. I slept on a couch in the back of a tire place, then in a rotten camper behind a welding yard. I worked roofing, demo, loading docks, anything that paid that week. I saved coffee cans full of cash, bought beat-up tools one by one, and started fixing pressure washers, mowers, and generators out of a rented block garage. It smelled like gas, hot metal, and being left alone. Best smell I ever had. By 29, I had a real shop. Small place, roll-up door, hand-painted sign, one helper named Joel on weekends. Nothing fancy, but it was mine. Down to the ugly office fan that only worked if you hit it. Then Nessa showed up on a Tuesday, with my parents right behind her like a bad parade. She wanted me to help the family by taking in her boyfriend's landscaping trailers and gear for free, fixing what was busted, and letting him use my back bay to run jobs. In plain words, she wanted my shop, my time, and my bills, all wearing a smile. Ray said I owed the family because they made me who I am. That was funny. Mold made that camper too. I did not owe it rent. I said no. Calm. Twice. Joel heard it. The camera heard it. Nessa kept moving closer. She said I always thought I was better because I could hold a wrench without crying. Then she grabbed a steel ratchet off the bench and swung. I remember the sound more than the hit, like somebody dropped a frozen ham on concrete. My knees went loose. Joel yelled. I caught the corner of a shelf on the way down and opened the side of my head again just to make it a full set. Blood hit the floor I had mopped that morning. That part still annoys me. At the hospital, I needed stitches and scans. Nessa got checked too because Joel shoved her off me and she bruised her arm. Colleen stood over my bed asking me not to ruin Nessa's life. Ray said if I pressed charges, I was dead to them. I told him that sounded expensive for a man who never bought me socks. The police took statements. I gave mine. Joel gave his. The shop camera gave the best one. That should have been the end. It was not. 2 weeks later, I got served. Nessa claimed I attacked her. Joel jumped her. And the whole thing started because I'd stolen money from my parents years ago to build the shop. The papers had my full name, Wade Mercer, on top. Like I was the problem they had finally put in a folder. My parents signed statements saying Ray handed me a big pile of cash when I left home, and I promised to pay it back. They wanted money, half the business, and for me to make the case go away. Here's the thing about building a life from scrap. You keep receipts. You keep photos. You keep old rent slips, pawn tickets, tool serial numbers, bank deposits, tax returns, texts from men who spotted you, gas money. Not because you are noble, because broke people know paper matters. I had every lease, every invoice, every transfer, every job book since the garage days. I had photos of the first mower I fixed beside the milk crate I used as a desk. I had the date I bought my first compressor, the cash loan from an old foreman, and the day I paid him back. I also had something my parents forgot about. The debt collector letter that hit me at 18, and the credit freeze papers I saved after a store card showed up in my name. Their lawsuit said Ray gave me money from an account opened for me as a kid. That account was real. I never saw a cent. The records my lawyer pulled showed my parents had opened it using checks from my dead grandfather's union death benefit, then drained it for years. Most of it went to Nessa's car, Nessa's rent, Nessa's beauty school, Nessa's failed salon room, and one beach trip she still calls healing. They tried to prove I was the thief by handing over the same account they had been draining since I was 12. The only family in my shop that day was the camera over the bay, Joel at the door, and boxes of greasy receipts.